Hi guys. Hello, meet to everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today we're going to talk about. This is the second take. The first one came out okay, but unfortunately the microphone was a little hot, and so it really sounded terrible when I was reading my phone. So I adjusted the microphone pre-comp. So hopefully now things will be more balanced. Today we're going to talk about, for those of you who may not know much about this channel, what this channel is about. Now, according to a guy who calls himself the next Chris Chan, he has been taking some outtakes from some of my videos and putting the humorous parts on his channel. I don't have a problem with that, but unfortunately, that means that when people come into this channel, they think my channel is going to be a bunch of slapstick. It's not. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Because my channel is more oriented for adults than for younger generation. Okay? This channel is really a news channel. A channel that does demonstrations, unboxings, a variety of things, content. And some of the contents that it is funny, because unfortunately they say I can be a real cut up. Occurs during the vlogs and during the bcasts. If you think that during the live streams I'm going to be out there and hamming up the camera, the answer is no, because the live streams are a completely different thing. They are intended for you and me to communicate with each other and to share ideas and concerns. Not so much for me to basically use the equivalent of a force feed you information, but rather to give you a chance to speak up on things that you will have questions about. And that's what that is for. This is very different. Some people ask me why I show the chats on the live streams instead of my face most of the time. Because again, the same thing is YouTube does not have a way for me to save channel transcripts of the chats. So if there was any kind of precious chat that maybe a friend said something that you wish you could remember or look back at how things transpired, at least when I put the chats up, you can always play the video, and even if it's not the most stellar quality, you can still watch it and see what your friend was saying to somebody else or whatever. That's what makes the mirroring the chats such a wonderful thing. It also helps that I can read the questions, and when by reading the questions, as I did mostly last night, is there's less likeliness there's going to be confusion and people getting lost and upset and things like that. So that's another reason. But if I simply just read your question and you just had me staring at the camera, and then everybody was saying is, what other questions were being asked? How much is Michelle censoring? Is she reading the whole question? Is she only reading parts of that question? If she's reading parts of the question, which parts is she ignoring? That's the reason why I also want to put the chats up, is so that when you can see the content I am reading, and yes, if there's something I am not reading for whatever reason, that you can see the parts I'm ignoring too, which isn't often very much. However, sometimes I will read comments and chats out of order on purpose. If you ever watch this, what that means is that I will sit there and read maybe one question, and then I see another person asks a question, and almost like a Me Too kind of thing, and then you're, well, okay, he's asking the same question, so, but he's going to add some additional information, so I might combine first question asker and the second question answer's question together and come up with a combined question that I can answer. That's, again, with the live stream feed, you can rewind the tape, and there you go. There's the piece that you see where question 1 and question 2, and how I ran them together is question 3. Okay, that's a pretty powerful technique. But within this day and age, the division between people saying censorship and racism, and that's another reason, is that it sends a message to YouTube that I'm doing my best to be transparent and letting the YouTube viewer view the whole chat. By doing that is the YouTube people can look at what was said, why it was said. Because remember in the early few months when we were starting out back in November, and all the arguments and finger pointing, calling me a racist and all this. Well, YouTube actually read the whole chat when the video was up for manual monetization review. So they could see what was actually happening, and my video was monetized because the manual reviewer realized that my content, which was deemed inappropriate for advertisers, there was nothing wrong with it. In other words, the AI bot did a false positive. And that happens a lot. And that brings another topic I want to talk about, which is that exact topic. We're going to talk about AdSense and the changes to the YouTube Partner Program. I've mentioned them before. But I also want to address, and I want to keep it short because I did do another earlier today, and it was a good video, but the microphone was too hot and it was really distorted. So hopefully this time the microphone gain will be closer to where I want it to be. YouTube's policies are very clear on what they will and will not endorse. Okay? They say your channel has to have 240,000 minutes of watch time in a calendar year. Okay, 12 months. Alright? You have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. Why are they doing that, you ask? Because there's a lot of Me Too channels, as I call them, that are constantly going out and using somebody else's videos, that channel that may have been successful in their own right, and putting their content on their channel and saying, look at me, I got 10,000 views, I know AdSense, now I can make money advertising, yay! Yeah, but really, it doesn't quite work that way, but oh well, that's what floats your boat, okay? The whole point here with the AdSense program is that with the YouTube getting under a lot of controversy regarding things like the Tide Pod Challenge, the Logan Paul suicide forest, dead body hanging from a tree video, the children's channels where videos, cartoons, animations for kids are turned into something completely unfamily friendly, the child porn, the child abuse videos. These are the things that YouTube is trying to crack the whip on. And that's one of the reasons was there was so much content that they couldn't easily sit there and weed it out. And so they said, because they didn't want the advertisers to get upset about it, they said to them, okay, to help us, the YouTube channel reviewers, get a breath of air, is we're going to change the standards a bit so that the Me Too channels don't have a flying chance. Okay? Channels with low subscriberships that potentially are doing bad things will not have a chance to get any advertising whatsoever. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that at all. I thought about this. Now, on the other hand, On the other hand, okay, this is where the rubber hits the road, people. I think it's a little bit, in some ways, it's a little bit of a broad brush, because I think that they could do a little bit better with the fine tuning here. Number one, if you got approximately 97,000 minutes of lifetime views, okay, 97,000, okay, that's what I got, and you've been on YouTube since 2010 in June, and you have no strikes, no terms of service or community guideline strikes, none of that. You're clean. Your channel has no flagged videos. Then you should be able to get bumped up to a higher status, because you've been around long enough, you've met all the requirements, and you're in good standing. There's no reason why you shouldn't have a little bit easier time at it. Probably they could say, well, in my case, Michelle, I'm still going to insist that you have 240,000 minutes per year, but given your content material, we will give you a little easier time hitting the subscriber count. We want you to have a minimum of 500 subscribers, that you still have to hit 240,000 minutes of per year. That I would be more comfortable with, because I think I can do it. Could I eventually hit 1,000 subscribers? Yes. But is it going to happen in a year's time? I keep saying yeah, but I don't really, gosh, I'm not really sure. And here's why. Majority of my content is adult oriented. Okay, when I say adult, I don't mean like porn and smut. I'm talking about for Generation X and the baby boomers. Okay, the millennials and Generation Y and Generation Z don't really have a chance. Most of them are looking for things that satisfies their need for content in 3 minutes or less. That's not going to happen to me. My viewer retention is over 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That is going to be almost impossible for me to come out with a video in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Remember, I have to hit 240,000 minutes viewed per calendar year of 12 months. That means to hit 240,000 minutes of views, I have to find a way to create content that is going to appeal to my target audience. Which, I should bring that up. What is my target audience? I can say target audience all day long. You hear people say that on marketing programs all the time. I have to meet a certain target audience. Well, here's what it means. If I go to my audience right here, okay, the majority of my viewers are male. They're 58.2%. 41.68% are female. Not surprising, it's very common. However, my target audience, there's two big ones. And for a while, it was the kids, and the teenagers, but that kind of faded away. But this is fine. I'm not really aiming for you. But I mean, if you want to watch the content, you certainly are allowed to do so. But I'm not going to be focusing on content specifically for you. So, going from the least percentage of views to the most percentage of views by age group. 13 to 17 year olds, 1.2%. 18 to 24 year olds, 16.2%. 25 to 34 year olds, 16.6%. Oh, those two are pretty close. Look at this. This is my target audience. 35 to 44. It has a view of 27.9%. 45 to 54, 29.3%. 55 to 64, 5.2%. And 65 plus is 3.5%. So because of the two age groups of 35 to 44 and 44, so let's just say 35 through 54, okay? That's my target audience. That's my age group. Okay, I'm 49. I'm gonna be 50 in February. Okay, so some of you said to me, "You're old." Yeah, well, you never said I was young. you get old too. Everybody gets old. And just get used to it, guys. It's going to happen to you too. Now, I could go on more interesting statistics. For example, which countries watch me the most? Okay? Top countries. Okay? United States, 69.2%. Not surprising. Canada, 18.8%. Again, not surprising at all. That's what makes sense. That's the entire continent of the United States. That's pretty much my whole entire region I work. New Zealand, which is not my region, that's Joey's and Brisbane's, but 3.9%. United Kingdom, which is actually a free Yosemite territory, is 1.4%. Australia, again, that's Joey Brisbane's, is 0.5%. Okay, now I'm actually really excited about the UK because I'm thinking about possibly in the future immigrating to the UK. But they got to get the situation with Brexit straightened out before I even do that. Okay. Next thing to deal with is the live streams. Now, right now we still have the live streams on Sunday at 6. I'm thinking that we're going to change the live streams for Sundays to 7 to match the other days of the week. So Sunday through Friday starting at 7 instead of Sunday being 6 and Monday through Friday being at 7. Some people have asked me about that in the past and said, could we do the live streams at 7 instead of 6? The answer is sure. I am open to that. So starting next Sunday, we are going to change the live streams for Sunday to 7 o'clock instead of 6, which makes it easier for me, keeps things consistent. There are also one more thing too about the live streams. I have to be honest here. If you're looking for a live stream where it's going to be like a comedy routine, like Jackass or Ren and Stimpy or Beavis and Butthead kind of thing, it's not going to happen, guys. That's not the importance of the live streams. The live streams is designed to cover news and views and questions that you have that I can help you answer. That's what it's for. But I can use your help. And that's what I want to address too, really quick. Guys, I need people to help me with the phones. I really need people to help me with the camera. If you want to see me more and less of the chats, this is where I need your help because I need a crew, a volunteer crew. I know, oh man, I'm not going to get paid. Well, if we can seriously turn that sense around and we can seriously start bringing in a revenue and we can start bringing in what the requirements for YouTube to make it a profitable channel, yes, you could be paid. Think of it now as an internship to learn a skill, a trade. That is what I want to do. I want to teach you how to do cameras. I want to teach you how to do lights. I want to teach you how to do sound. I want to teach you how to work on graphics. Okay? And I'm looking for 3 things from you if you're interested. Okay? Now, first of all, understand it is not a paid position. Okay? Second thing is you need to be able to come into the studio to do the work. Sorry, no email work here, guys. I need you in the studio to help here. Okay? So you need to be able to come into work 1, 2, 3 days a week. And the more if I can get 2 or 3 people to do cameras and possibly provide transportation, we could actually do more on-location shoots. And that I'd love to do. I really would. Next thing that's important is I want to know what kind of skills you got. And so, and you contact me. So, my email at bicehela3@gmail.com. I want 1, I want to know your educational background. 2, I want to know if you have why you want to do this, why you want to volunteer, what positions you want to volunteer for. And 3, what skills do you have that you would like to bring to the table? That's the 3 things that I want. Oh yes, there is a 4th. I need to be able to make an appointment with you for an interview. So I will need a way to contact you, obviously by email or by phone. And so that we can schedule to come in and tour the studio, look at the equipment, learn the layout, and see if you meet the requirements I'm looking for. They're really not that hard to come up with. The requirements are very simple. If you got the right skills, you got the right stuff. Even if it's not really refined, but if it's good, but it's just not perfect, it's fine. A volunteer is a volunteer. I'll take your work. I'll take your help assistance. No problem. And yes, I will give you a reference as a volunteer. Speaking of volunteers, this is the phone. Hello? Telemarketer. That's my private phone, guys. That's not the studio line. The point here is, I want to take the channel into the next level up. Okay? And I need your help for that. Please do continue to share these videos with your friends and your family. And do continue to watch the chats. But please remember that the chats are very different than a bcast or a vlog. They're completely different. Okay? It's the only time when it was in the comments section when you can actually contact me and I can contact you. Now, normally when I do videos, I'm contacting you, but that is the only time that you can contact me, or we can have a dialogue talking back and forth with each other. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. So let's keep that going. That's why I'm going to focus on doing the chats 6 days a week. I just want one day off from me so I can kind of just recover and revive, recharge. And once I do that, once I feel more revived and perky, that I can get those other videos in. And remember, that I also still going to need to do the bcasts and the vlogs, and because if I don't do the bcasts, we're not going to have any content to talk about. Right? Right. So, for now, I guess that's it. I just want you to stay out of trouble, guys, and I will see you. Oh, since it's kind of late anyway, why don't you give a quick view of the weather forecast? The weather forecast. Really? Why not? Okay. Do you want to say anything about this? Yeah. Guys, the most important thing here in the videos is not so much that Michelle is sitting on a couch or in a chair in the other room and reading your questions and talking to me in private or in public, or mostly in public in case chats. But it's because she needs to fill the dead air. Nobody wants to sit there and watch a bunch of comments sitting there and flowing off the screen and nothing happening. Or it's even worse when there's no comments at all. So Michelle needs to fill in space. Okay? Dead air sucks air. Because remember, this is also going out on Michelle's radio station too. Most people don't realize that. Michelle has a small, low part 15 AM radio station. It's going out on the radio station as well. It's so small, it doesn't really cover more than the building, but that's the point. It's still going out. So people do listen to these chats, and they obviously need to see some material to hear. Right? Alright, so let's go to the weather based on Lemmy's suggestion here. I'm just going to go to the quickie forecast because the longer one's fine, but I don't think we need to go there. Right now it is 2 degrees Celsius. It is cloudy. Okay? It's going to expect the high today is going to be 4 degrees, a low of 2 degrees. It's okay. Tuesday, a high of 10, a low of -2. Okay? It's going to be rainy. Wednesday, it'll be mostly cloudy, a high of 0, a low of -9. Thursday, again, mostly cloudy, a high of -3, a low of -12. Friday, a high of sunny with a high of 1 degree Celsius and -7 degrees is low. And lastly, Saturday will be a high of Mostly cloudy again, a high of 7, a low of 2. So, looking at the extended forecast after that, I don't see any really deep freezing days. Just it'll be warming up a bit. So this will be a great time to go out there and have fun and in the sun. Maybe not today because it's going to rain, but there will be days coming up that's going to be warm enough that you can go ahead and go outside and have fun. That's what I would suggest you do. All right, so for now, I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock. And if you have any questions, of course, you can comment in the comment section below here, but you can also ask them online tonight too. Absolutely. And lastly, don't always think you need to call the studio to ask your questions. You can use the chats. That's why we have the chats. Maybe you may have hearing loss too. Maybe you may have good hearing, but realizing that my hearing is atrocious, you decide that just type is easy for me to read it. And that's true, and it does help. And I'm going to continue to mirror the chats because they do make it easier. So at the end of the chat, when you're playing the replay, you can see the flow of the conversation for that night. That's why we do it. Because YouTube does not have any way to save the chats. I really wish they would add a function where I could save the chats and go back and play them. It also was helpful because YouTube benefited by using those chats to determine when my videos kept getting demonetized, when they were being manually reviewed, that the videos were not demonetized for good reason, and so they would be remonetized. And that helped because they could see what was being said and things like that. So, but for now, it's getting late. I got some things I got to do. So we'll talk to you later. Stay safe, stay warm, stay dry. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.